Danielson and Moxley are a tag team now, Brian, and William Regal is in their corner. So what we've been scared and afeared of has come to pass. To watch Danielson, we have to watch Moxley. That is a Faustian bargain if ever I've heard one. But in this case, their opposition, did you catch the team name of their opposition, Anthony Henry and J.D. Drake?
I did not see a team name, no.
The Workhorsemen.
God damn.
They called them that, and they got a graphic and the Workhorsemen. And I agree, J.D. Drake and Anthony Henry both look like they ought to be doing some kind of community service work on the side of the highway, possibly involving scooping up horse shit from the last parade. But these two guys got no business whatsoever using the words horse and men together in describing themselves. Drake is the fat gray-haired guy that buried Keith Lee last week, and Henry has green hair. So the balding plumber still has to come in from the parking lot, even though he's supposed to be Danielson's partner and Regal's protege. He had a separate entrance. And they just beat the job guys up here, as they should have. I'm not saying they should have got any offense. But right as I was about to jot down, at least Moxley kept it in the ring. He tags Danielson, and Danielson comes in to do something for the finish, and Moxley, to do something big as part of the finish, runs and does a dive on Henry out on the floor and completely missed him. It wasn't even a dive straight. It was a dive out of the ring and corkscrew, and the guy's supposedly going to catch him in his arms or whatever. But he just dove out, did a flip in the air in front of the guy, and landed on the floor right in front of the fucking guy, and the guy took a bump anyway. He fell 3 feet short, and the guy just, oh, fuck it, boom, down. And Danielson in the ring actually doing something right, stomped the shit out of Drake, and LaBelle locked him and got the tap out. But it's almost like you've got to have some kind of fuck up with Moxley just to realize that it's still Moxley. He can't go through anything seamlessly. So they get in the ring for the interview, and William Regal takes the center stage. And we love William Regal. And what a great talent. And he's not only a great wrestler and a great trainer, but also he has done some fantastic promos. This was not one. And I'm not trying to badmouth William Regal. He even apologized for it on Twitter afterwards because he went over his time. I think it was a combination of things. He was genuinely happy to be there. And he was genuinely happy with who he's working with. And he tried to be conversational and you know, happy and smiling at the beginning and telling Tony he broke up, telling Tony Schiavone how much he meant to him for helping Regal when Regal first came to this country 30 years ago. And he did tell a story, you know, since he wasn't required by his previous employer, he sat home for a few months and checked out of the wrestling business, but he came back to watching it when Danielson mentioned him. You can tell this means a lot to Regal. It just took a while. Maybe he's out of practice. Maybe it was the emotion. Whatever the case, he spent a lot of time on the preamble and then finally got to the point and spent some time going over the point. But basically, the story is Danielson, in Regal's eyes, is the perfect wrestler that he's trained and mentored over the years. And Moxley, since he couldn't say Moxley was the perfect wrestler with a straight face, even Regal's not that good a worker, he said Moxley is the, quote, sadistic person that will take things to another level. What the fuck does that mean? What can you say about Moxley? But the problem I had with this, again, is if they were going to go in this direction, the best in-ring heel in AEW and maybe all of wrestling is Bryan Danielson. And William Regal, the beloved William Regal, who could win a popularity contest over the fans' mothers, just called him the perfect wrestler. Isn't that like Bobo Brazil coming out and saying, boy, the Sheik is the toughest man on earth? But I digress. I think Regal needs to get the feel of things and get back in the saddle, back in the flow of things. This was not his best, and it took a while, and he apologized for people having to have their time cut. But I'm glad to see William Regal there, a voice of sanity and a trainer and a person that everybody looks up to, that maybe they'll listen to him, since they got offended and buried JR in public when he called him out on just the stupid dives and the grouping and catching everybody, which is the most blatantly obvious thing wrong with every match they have. They got offended at that. Are they going to get offended at William Regal when he, probably more diplomatically than JR does, but says the same thing? What the fuck are you people doing? This is not good. I don't know. What do you think?
I agree with a lot of the comments you had about that. I was surprised how many people really loved the promo. I think people just like the genuine moments. And while it's nice, and you could tell, like you said, it meant a lot to him, part of me thinks, like, this isn't the place for it. And maybe I'm wrong for thinking that, but all of a sudden it broke
Maybe
down.
He didn't need to do everything all at the same promo.
I wasn't crazy about it. I was happy to see him. But
he went from crying over an old friend to talking about sadism. It was from one end to the other. Could have focused that a little.
And we'll see where they go with this. Are they going to be in the tag team division, managed by Steven Regal, managed by William Regal? I mean, we don't know exactly what's going to happen here, but I really can't add too much more to your comments other than to say I agree with most of them.
Hey, and we don't want Regal to be a manager, although we've seen what good it's done for Arn and Tully and Vicky Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero and Jose and all the rest of the managers that. We went back to the back next because the world heavyweight champion, Adam Page, was apologizing to the dork jobbers for something that he did last week that upset them or whenever, and he apologized. I was in the wrong. You were right. So now you got the babyface world champion apologizing to job guys. But then he tells them that they can't be his partners in that 6-man that Cole challenged for next week because he saw Jungle Boy, and I swear to God, he called him Dino. I saw Jungle Boy and Dino. It's Dino, by the way. Jungle Boy and Dino out back, they're my partners. Oh, okay, well, yeah, I got to do my beard and everything. Just silliness. Silliness involving the world champion.